guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Abimbola. So if this is your first time on my channel or you've been here before but have never subscribed, can I please ask you to just click on the red subscribe button now and then click on the bell icon to turn your notification on so you are notified whenever I drop a new video. If you've already subscribed, it's good to see you again. Thank you guys. Alright everyone, so we all know what is going on all over the world. No country is free from the plague. Even the Western world with all the facilities in place are struggling to deal with the Coro. You know what I mean. So what is the fate of our dear country Nigeria, where our politicians refused over the years to improve the health facilities we have, just because they have the opportunity to fly out of the country to receive treatment for ordinary headache. If they have headache, if they bang their feet on something, they are out of the country straight, going abroad to have treatment. So with that, guys, I bring you this story. Breaking. Western diplomats warn of Coro explosion in Nigeria as European countries evacuate citizens. Some Western diplomats on Friday warned that with the current and abysmal way the Nigerian government was handling the Coro outbreak, the number of infections would witness a significant rise in the coming weeks. Already, Nigeria has 81 confirmed cases and 1 recorded death of the pandemic. According to the diplomatic community, infections could rise to more than 10,000 in the coming weeks, as there are at least 5,000 persons who had come in contact with infected persons in Nigeria already. This category of persons, it was gathered, had gone already to mingle with thousands of others in the society without realizing that they had the virus. This is the real danger. A lot of people who have had contact with original carriers of the virus don't even know they have the ailment and have in fact gone ahead to mingle with hundreds and thousands of others in the society, spreading the virus further. From information we have in the diplomatic community, there could be an explosion of confirmed infections in the coming weeks. It is going to disrupt a lot of things. So this was according to a senior diplomat attached to one European High Commission in Nigeria. Echoing the same sentiment, another diplomat whose country has provided technical support to African nations battling the spread of the virus, another diplomat whose country has provided technical support to African nations battling the spread of the virus, said the situation in Nigeria was dire because the number of untested infections far outweighed those examined by government agencies. So far, only 200 persons had been tested for Coro in Nigeria due to the unavailability of testing kits. Though Chinese billionaire Jack Ma has donated testing kits and protective items to Nigeria and other African countries to help combat the virus, hundreds of potentially infected persons are yet to be examined in Nigeria, increasing the risk of an epidemic in the West African state. We could be having tens of thousands of confirmed cases across Nigeria in a few days from now. There are thousands of people with the virus already on the loose in the country, and many of these people cannot be traced. They have taken this pandemic into every nook and cranny of this country. I think Nigeria must act fast to avert a full-blown war, the diplomat said on Friday, adding that Western countries will continue to provide technical support to help Africa and the rest of the world conquer the virus. So unfortunately, this is the situation our politicians have put us in, because they don't really give a damn about anybody in the country. It's all about filling their pockets, increasing what they have in their bank accounts all over the world. So let's carry on. Already there have been reported cases of people being asked to self-isolate after reporting to health agencies of having symptoms of the virus without proper monitoring and stringent measures to ensure such persons do not expose others to infection in case they have the virus. Thousands of individuals in this category have gone on with their daily activities and opened up the chance of an epidemic in the country. Unwilling to take chances, some Western countries are already evacuating their citizens from Nigeria and other African countries. For example, an Air France flight on Thursday moved 260 Europeans from Nigeria to France to prevent them from being infected with the virus. This came after the Nigerian government granted a 1-week permission to Air France and KLM to evacuate Europeans from the country following the continued spread of the pandemic. Also on Thursday, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ms. Katrina Leng, said the mission was exploring available options to send staff and their families back to the United Kingdom. This was occasioned by projections by experts and top diplomats that the Coro pandemic could explode in Nigeria and other African countries in coming days. This is scary. But according to the World Health Organization, Nigeria and other African countries battling the virus must conduct more tests to portray the true picture of things and avert a major crisis. So guys, that's the breaking news. Unfortunately, that is the breaking news regarding what is going on all over the world and Nigeria, our dear country. You know what really baffles me is why some of the pastors and mega churches refuse to follow simple instructions of social distancing and still went on to hold church services despite what's going on everywhere. Imagine Pastor Oyedepo and Paul Enenche still gather their congregation together, putting everyone at risk. Can you guys just imagine how many people would have contracted this disease just because of this pastor's irresponsible behavior? Thousands would have left those gatherings with CV and would have passed it on to their family members, friends, and so on. I don't know why they couldn't follow Pastor Adeboye of RCCG and Pastor Lukoya of MFM and encourage their churches to hold online services. These people send messages around to their parishes to say, look, no more service for now. Do online service for now, to keep everybody safe. I just feel this is what happens when some people feel they are more spiritual than others, this holier than thou attitude, when they think they have greater faith than every other person. There is this saying in Yoruba that says, this is like daring God. It's like jumping into the lion's den yourself and expecting God to save you. Daniel was thrown into the den. He did not jump into their God. That was why God saved him. And the 3 Hebrew men that were thrown into the furnace of fire were thrown in. They did not jump in themselves, and that was why the 4th man appeared to save them. But you have decided on your own to flaunt every instruction. Even Jesus Christ said, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Why these people thought they could just carry on and gathered massive congregation despite the fact that they had been warned is what I don't really understand. Imagine, they are educated people. Even Pastor Enenche is a medical doctor by profession, although I don't think he ever practiced as a medical doctor. I think he just went straight into ministry. But still, he's a medical doctor. They all know the implication of these things. Guys, let's just be realistic. Nigeria has no idea of how many cases they have. I'm very sure there are thousands already. But they are only aware of the top politicians and those that came into the country from abroad. That's why they are claiming 80-something people have it. Imagine people living in villages, people living in face-to-face houses where 10-20 people share the same toilet, the same bathroom, the same kitchen. How can they maintain the 2-meter distance in that instance? How does hand washing and the use of alcohol gel work in Nigeria where there is no regular supply of water? And there is no money for people to even feed, talk less of buying alcohol gel. How can people lock down when there is no way to store food, no electricity, no essential facilities? It is so sad and it is really, really scary. Only God can intervene in Nigeria and help us. We must, however, play our own part and stop being foolish by putting ourselves at risk. A lot of people are taking this thing with levity. They think it's not happening, but you need to listen to the news. You need to listen to those people that have actually suffered this thing and what they went through. It is real. We all have to be realistic. We need to abide by instructions at this delicate time. So now that all the borders have been closed and our politicians cannot travel abroad for treatment, everyone is in the same boat. Maybe they will learn, and when this is over, maybe they will do right by the country. This is God telling the whole world that we are all the same in his eyes. Rich, middle class, poor, white, black, brown, green, whatever color, whatever you are, whoever you are, we are all equal in the sight of God. Rumors have it that Buhari tested positive. I'm not sure if this is true, but if it is true, may God help him and may God help us all. You know, with this thing going on, this whole Coro problem, this whole Coro whatever that is going on all over the world, especially in Nigeria, if these politicians have their way, they will just pick the poor people and say, oh, Coro, infect these ones, oh, leave us the rich ones alone. We don't want you. But God has actually said, I'm going to show you that I am God. That no matter who you think you are, I decide what happens. I decide who gets infected. I decide who dies. I decide who lives. I'm just hoping that these people will learn, so that after this whole problem, when it is over, whichever one survives, we learn that God is the ultimate. and that they need to do the right thing. Maybe by then they will decide to build hospitals, equip hospitals, so that when people need medical attention, they can go into the hospital and have what they need. And people don't continue to die from ordinary headache. I had a friend that died from headache. And it wasn't that she didn't have money to get treatment. She actually just got back from the US on holiday. She went to Nigeria and she had a headache. She had been taking tablets, but maybe it was just chalk that was being sold as paracetamol. She died from a headache. There was another case of a 21-year-old girl. I know the family, so it's not that somebody told me the story. It's a family I know very well. A 21-year-old girl. She was here in the UK for her master's. She went back to Nigeria after her master's, and she died shortly after. She slumped in the bathroom, and her parents took her around to so many hospitals. They had no oxygen. Before they knew it, the girl died. If she had been in this country, she would not have died, because she would have had the help she needed. Imagine, no oxygen in hospitals. No oxygen, ordinary oxygen, no oxygen in hospitals. Even Buhari's daughter has said there is no paracetamol in Aso Rock Health Center. How can that be? How can it be? You need treatment, you cannot get treatment, just because these politicians can pick their bags anytime and fly abroad for any form of treatment they require, and their family members as well. Most of them, their children are not even in that country. They're abroad, all over the world, enjoying themselves, having fun, getting the right treatment, having access to the right facilities. But they don't really care about Nigeria. They don't care about the people they are governing. All they want is to fill their pockets with money, with dollars, have fleets of expensive cars, houses all over the world that they don't live in. But God is saying to them, I decide what happens. So that's it, guys, about this pandemic going on. We all have to be very, very careful. This is real. We all need to take good care of ourselves. Stay safe. No one is immune. Don't take unnecessary risks. It is not really worth it. And by the grace of God, we shall all come out on the other side safe. Please like and share this video with other people. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again soon. Goodbye for now.